It's been a week.
It's been a week.
So we've had some repairs we've done and have yet to do to the van. We just kind of wanted to talk about if you're living in a van or even if you just have summer travel plans like many do in an RV. It doesn't have to be a van. There are going to be things that come up that you just have to deal with. Even if it's under warranty, you can't always get an appointment, especially right now. Everything is so fully booked that I'm really grateful you're handy because I'm not so much.
That's kind of the thing you don't hear a lot about is, especially with full-time, whether it's a van or RV, is when things go wrong. Like, for example, our water pump went out. The pump that runs water for our sink and our shower. A couple nights ago, Irene was turning the sink on at night. It just went blub blub blub.
Wah, wah.
Nothing. So our water pump is not under warranty, so we had to get a new one. If it had been under warranty, I still don't think I would use it because we're full-time. This is our house. I need water tomorrow. I don't want to wait for a warranty fix or one to come in. Those can be a real issue, like the time it takes to get that done. Bigger ticket items, sure,
Yeah.
but if you're in the middle of nowhere, a small town, and you got to get something fixed, we just went to an RV dealership that actually happened to have a decent SureFlow water pump, so I just bought it and I'm installing it. I knew I was going to do it myself, but I just out of curiosity, I asked the RV dealer here in just south of the bridge in Newport, South Beach, Oregon. Great place, South Beach RV and Marine. But and talking to the owner is like, it's crazy. They're swamped, and they have an extremely difficult time getting parts. Like even outboard motors, like they were a year out trying to get some outboard motors, and they have no time limit. So he had the water pump that worked for our van, but I just said, well, say I couldn't do it myself and I needed you guys to fix it. How soon could I get that done? He said, we can get you in a month. So it got us to thinking about, okay, so what if you are in a situation where this happens to you, whether it's a water pump or something like that, that isn't extremely difficult, but if you don't have any experience in doing that, because you have to, there's a couple wires you have to mess with and a couple plumbing hoses you have to mess with to get this thing done. And it's always going to be tight quarters in the van because it's it's just the way they're built. So we were talking last night, so what if we knew nothing about it, we couldn't get in, we're just brainstorming some ideas, and like, for example, we thought, well, maybe we just contact a regular plumber or a regular electrician. Irene had a great idea with Facebook. What was that?
Well, I was just thinking, if you're traveling and this is such a big community, the RV community, just whatever town you're in, like, get on the local Facebook page and ask for help. I mean, the majority of people are good people and people want to help and are willing to help. Like, I feel like that would be a good option if you're traveling and can't do it yourself.
Just find a safe way to do it, find a safe place, and but I mean, there's the other option of just sitting in your RV without water for a month. It just wouldn't happen. So you might have to get creative. If my advice is, find some YouTube videos, watch some YouTube videos, have some basic tools, and try to be as handy as you can. And it's just something to think about. If you're not, that's definitely an issue you may have to deal with if something happens.
Yeah.
So anyway, we didn't film much of me changing the water pump, but I thought since yesterday our battery died.
Our engine battery, not van battery. That will never go.
And I have to change that. I thought, well, let's go ahead and talk about the water pump and the battery change. The battery change, you could probably get that now if you go to if there's whatever hardware or whatever auto parts store. Typically, someone there will give you a hand. The battery in the ProMaster is like 50 pounds or something, and it's really an awkward spot, which you'll see soon. And it looks kind of daunting when you look at it, but it's really not that complicated. But it'd be something that you could get changed at if the dealership, say you wanted an OEM battery from the dealership, they might have to make an appointment.
That might take some time.
Yeah. So since we're going to film me putting a battery in, we thought, let's just show the water pump and talk about what I did there. And
we'll show the area and kind of see. And with your ribs, it's been
Yeah,
a
so
good time.
it's been 4 weeks since I broke this rib and a couple up here in the upper back. So Irene's gonna have to do much of the heavy lifting today, but that's okay. She's strong.
Yeah, I got it. One other thing actually went haywire this week.
It was time to get some new tires on the van, and I mean we still had some time left in them, but I wanted to change them here before we headed back towards the East Coast and warmer temperatures here in the next month or so.
Yeah.
And I like to have really good durable tires. I don't like to bring them all the way down. So we had tires put on. It's time for an oil change. The water pump went out. The engine battery died, which we'll talk more about that in a minute. And then a week ago, Irene went to open this cupboard, and it's got this really cool gas strut on it. And when you open it up, it stays up.
But
And when you're driving, it doesn't do this. Oh wait. So the gas strut doesn't work. So she went online and found the exact same one, which was kind of cool because I didn't want to have to figure out a new place to put new brackets. So the way this one works is you get 2 of these. So now I have 2 extras, and these just pop out.
oh, look at that. Oh, that's
Just on
handy.
balls.
Yeah, so you don't even have to.
Right.
Nice.
So this is like really.
It's just used. That's the thing about the water pump, about these struts. They're used all day, every day. Just like a house, you're gonna
See?
have maintenance.
Simple. Now let's see if it works.
Oh. Perfect.
Yeah. See how long before you wear this one.
I know. Okay, should we lift the bed and kind of
So
show
now,
'em?
yeah, we'll lift the bed up. We'll show you the water pump and how we change that.
Going under the bed.
So here's the water pump. It's a SureFlow, and it's just 2 wires, red and black, and you just disconnect the old pump, look where the wires went before, and then put the new ones back where the old ones went. And then it's just really tight quarters to work down. If you imagine, like, this is how I'm working back here. So it's not the prettiest electrical tape job, but anyway, they're in there. George uses these, I don't know what they're called, but these super cool connectors. It's so simple to change the wires. And then I just kind of put as much electrical tape around there just to kind of hold them together so they don't get in the way of anything. It's just two simple hoses. I loosen this O-clamp up, slid it back, and then turn this, and it spun inside the hose, so that came off easy. Loosen this connector up, pulled this hose off, and we're at my friend Darren's house because it hurt to try to pull hoses. They're pretty hard to pull out, and with my broken ribs it was kind of painful. So Darren came over and popped those hoses right off, took the old pump out, and I took this connector and this connector off the old pump, put some Teflon tape on the new pump, attached these, put it back in here, wired it. It was actually the same footprint as the old one, so put the screws right back in the same holes, put the hoses back on, tighten these O-clamps up, and oh, funny story, not funny at the time. So there's that fear that maybe it was more than the pump that was wrong. So we put the new pump in, and it took off, and it's working. She turns it off, I'm like, yay! She goes turn on again, it's like, nothing happening, no water. I'm like, oh no, highest of highs, lowest of lows. But Irene had bumped that with her hip.
I bumped the switch.
Turn it back on.
Yay!
Water again. So anyway, that's how
There are like how-to videos. This was not a how-to. We're just kind of showing you our situation where it's at. But luckily, I think most pumps are similar, like you said, footprint and hose size and all that. So
yeah,
even though we didn't find the same exact one,
yeah, and I just looked for one that was high quality, self priming, and this one had good reviews. The SureFlow, I don't know the number of it, but the dealership said it's by far the most popular and best seller. And our last van, we had a SureFlow in it. We were in that full time for 3.5 years, and it worked perfect the entire time. So I was comfortable with the SureFlow.
yeah. I was just grateful to find a pump because the supply chain issues.
Yeah, we found some online. If they didn't have one, we could have got one from either some online sources, and Amazon had some, but it was a week or two, and nobody wants to be without running water for that long.
Well, it's like we're winterized, so really, we've done it before.
We've done it before, and I warm water up in the pan. I put it in a water bottle. I wash your hair.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Okay, should we head up front to the battery?
Yep.
Okay. Up front, under the driver's area.
So you just have to turn all these a little bit. And
this is a weird spot for a battery, in my opinion.
It
but
is.
What do I know?
Look at that beast.
Wow,
Filthy
look at that mess.
First thing, I'm going to take this bracket off that holds the battery in place, and that's a 13 millimeter.
Okay. Oh.
Cup holder.
Okay. Let's not forget how this goes back.
And then we need to disconnect the battery. So here's the negative, and it's just got a quick release.
Oh, okay. And it wiggles off. And what do you do with that? Just set it to the side?
Set it out of the way.
Okay.
And then we have this cover here, which you just take these two tabs, kind of pull that out of the way.
There's a lot going on here.
There's a lot going on here. Now this looks kind of daunting, but really it's not. I just need a Phillips screwdriver to take these two out, and this whole thing will come up just taking those two out. I don't have to mess with anything else.
Okay.
But there's also this battery lead's connected to that. So I'll take a 10 millimeter, I believe. Just loosen this one up. I would say consult your local mechanic and not me.
Yeah, this is definitely not a how-to. Okay.
Now, you need a Phillips, which is in the drawer. Can you give me a Phillips, honey?
Yes.
While you're filming?
Getting a Phillips. Got a Phillips.
Okay. I'm gonna see if this thing comes off easy.
Because.
Just so I can move this out of the way better.
Okay. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Now.
Okay, now this, just a matter of wiggling.
Oh. Okay. Huh.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, wow. And we're supposed to drop a new one in there, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's gear up for that then.
Okay, muscles, we're gonna lift it.
Ooh.
You're gonna lift up from there.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna pull out this way over the top of this.
Okay.
And then the other one go into it the same way.
I like your confidence. Here we go.
If you can take this handle,
Yep.
and I'll take this one.
Yep.
Now, if I wasn't injured, my ribs were broken, I would probably just yard this out, but I can't really do that. I've got to kind of have
Yeah.
some help.
So, oops.
So
okay.
I'm gonna do this,
Okay.
and you're gonna lift on that one.
Okay. Hang on. I gotta get into a good position here. Oop. Let me see what I can do here. Okay.
1, 3.
1, 2, 3. Oop. Okay, now I can come around. Do you need me to come
I
around?
think I got it.
You got it? Let go. Okay. He's got it. Okay. New battery going in.
Piece
Boom.
of cake. Teamwork.
Teamwork. I think it's not flat in there. It needs to be wiggled a second. There we go.
Good eye.
Okay, now we might have to watch this video back to see in which order things happen here.
It wasn't that complicated.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just gonna put it back together in reverse order.
Okay.
And you've got 2 holes here that these little plastic
Right. I have
go
to line
into.
up.
those go in those holes.
Mm-hmm.
And just tighten back up again. Okay, so that's good. Now,
I got him. Sorry, here. Sorry, I was all caught up. Trying to be helpful. Sometimes that doesn't work, does it? I still think this is a crazy place for a battery. But apparently it works.
now this goes over to that.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the way. And this. Snaps right back in place.
Okay.
And then
And I have a nut or something back here. Does it go somewhere on that thing?
the cover.
Oh yeah. Ooh,
Battery's good
why is it doing that?
because it's a battery.
Is it on there enough?
Yeah, it's all around.
Wow, okay.
That's on good. That's on good. It's out of the way. And then we have this one went under here.
We're getting there. It's a reverse puzzle.
That sits on like that. But you don't want that under there. You want this
No.
out of the way. That's like that. And this sits on the battery. And then you have the nut.
Sorry. I
it
screwed
away.
it up last time, so. Okay.
Quick inspection. Everything's hooked back up. No leftover parts.
Nope.
Tools are on the chair.
Looking good. Not going back.
Those will get turned.
Shall we try it? See if she fires up. How's your back? Yeah, that good, huh? Oh. We might need to jump it. Oh. You had me going for a second. Kind of like the water. Oh. Yay. Now we'll take the old one back and get our $18.
$18 back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we are back on the road.
Life on the road has some maintenance. It's
Yeah.
just like owning a house, but crazier because you're driving it.
I just have a basic tool bag, and if you watch videos like ours and you see, oh, I should have a 13mm deep socket for the battery and a 10mm wrench, or just have a small set of sockets and basic screwdrivers. And Crescent wrench works good for standard and metric. So just have some basic stuff, basic knowledge, watch some YouTube how-to videos, because there's not always going to be, especially in today's world, I mean, the fact that someone can't change a water pump, which is honestly, that was a half-hour job.
I wouldn't be able to do it.
But it was a half-hour job, and they couldn't fit me in for a month just because
Oh,
they're
that,
so
yeah.
swamped. And it's like, if I get in there, someone else has been waiting, gets out of line. So
Not to mention how much is that going to cost, you know?
yeah, then the
So,
labor of that. I'm sure this would have been, you know, $100 installation fee. I don't know.
I mean, the moral of the story for me is just keep a positive attitude and just know things are going to happen, and you just have to roll with it.
And that actually has taken some experience. We've had to learn that things are going to happen. It's going to be a memory soon.
And sometimes it catches us still, where we're like, gosh, dang it, you know, we get upset by something, and then we have to just say out loud, big deal, figure it out. It's not,
Yeah.
we can always make it work, you know?
And we're both very fortunate to have people that have each other, because if I'm feeling like overwhelmed, she's like becomes the positive person that reminds me, and vice versa. So
Yeah.
we got a good team. I'm a very lucky guy, and I think it's time to go salmon fishing and wrap this video.
All right.
All right,
Carry on.